Alright guys, so we made it back to the house and we got all the parts laid out on our toolbox. And we have upper and lower control arms for the front suspension. These are just OEM replacements. Didn't go with the 034 upgraded polyurethane ones. I still want to have the ride a little bit more soft and mushy on the car rather than super stiff and tight. It'll just make the car a little bit more enjoyable in the long run. We've got 2.5-inch exhaust bends, some 45s, some 90s, all of that. We've also got the Vibrant Performance resonator. We also have the Thrush glass pack. We have 2 of each, so either or will go in the car. In an ideal world, we'll put both, but I don't know if there's room or if I feel like cutting that much exhaust. We also have the plug for the top of the heat exchanger, so that is what was keeping us from putting coolant in the car. We have the JXB Performance. I went ahead and bought just the clamp for the bottom of the shifter to shorten the throw, and then as you guys saw, we did the whole refresh of the shift linkage itself. That is basically all the stuff that we're going to need for me to think it's roadworthy. At least it's definitely drivable now. However, I do want to get mufflers put on. I want to refresh the suspension. We've got to do brakes, and yeah. So anyway, that is all of the stuff that I'm going to try and get on this weekend. Hopefully it stays somewhat nice. It's like 30 degrees out today, but at least it's not super windy or anything, so we should be able to get a fair amount of stuff done. I did go and buy a new angle grinder, a bigger angle grinder. I really don't like using the Sawzall under the car. It always just starts jerking and just, I don't know, it's a weird thing for me. So I'm going to try and cut the exhaust with an angle grinder, see how that works. We can always go back to the Sawzall. We have plenty of blades and stuff for that, but we're going to focus on just getting one pair in before we focus on getting another pair in. Which one, I don't know. Anyway, let's get started, guys. Alright guys, what is going on? So we have a little update for you, and I don't know if you can see down in there. So I wanted to do, someone had commented on one of the videos and actually said they make like boots for the Heim joints, so it would make it so it would just not get dust over time and not wear out so soon. I looked for Heim joints this small and there weren't very many options in that case, or maybe I was just looking on the wrong websites, but couldn't find anything. But we did go ahead and get that shifter installed and the JXB shift clamp, that is all installed, so we can come in the car. And it is definitely a shorter throw. However, I think like the actual ball in here is a little bit loose. You can see there's still some play in there, and that is not coming from like the shift shaft. That's just coming from the ball itself here. So as you can see, it's just got play, and that is before it starts springing, so it still has about a 1/2 inch at the knob, I would say, before it hits like the springy portion of its travel, which is like the normal portion of its travel. But it feels real tight, real short compared to what it was, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with how that came out. So definitely worth it if you guys are into building your own stuff. You can do this. You can make a shifter assembly for the car. It's fairly easy. This one is going to be serviceable, so we'll just get some right hand thread Heim joints and left hand thread Heim joints when those need to be replaced, and you should have a shifter that will feel real nice. So yeah, that is in. The exhaust, as you guys know, we have a Thrush glass pack. They're really long, so it's a 28-inch glass pack, just way too long. It'd be really hard to fit on the car and still be able to weld around it and then still work on things around the exhaust over by the drive shaft or whatever. I don't know, it's just gonna make things a lot more difficult. So I went ahead and went to AutoZone and picked up 2 of their cherry bomb glass packs, which I have one on the Jetta actually right now. That is how I quieted it down. So yeah, we're gonna install 2 of these. As you can see, way smaller. So what I normally would do is just chop off each end, no matter what size they are. They're gonna get the end chopped off, and then we're just gonna butt it up to the existing pipe, so we have as small a section of pipe as we can get, and then we'll go ahead and just weld it. Usually it fits pretty perfectly around that weld, so we'll just get it snugged up on both sides, weld it in, do the same on the other side. And then at AutoZone they actually did have some more of those glass packs, but in like a 12-inch size, and I think it might actually be beneficial to get those as well and possibly weld them in. I think I have room here and then on the other side as well. Once you cut the legs off, like I was saying, I think it would be around like a 8-inch little glass pack section, so should have plenty of room, and nothing would be hitting back here either, so I think I might do that as well. I really just want this car to be on the more tame side of things, and it'll still be straight through pipe, so that'll be nice. Alright, so for measuring this, since it is rounded on one side, the tape measure will not grab on the end. It'll just kind of float over. So we can get an accurate measurement by sticking the tape through, hook on the end of the exhaust, and then pull it through. And as you guys can see, we are at 18 1/8. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut the exhaust on the car at around 18 inches exact, maybe a little bit smaller than 18 inches, just because the blade width and all of that take into account how much metal are going to come off each side. So we'll cut it at about 18 inches, and hopefully that will give us a good size fit for the exhaust, to where we're not pulling it too much and where we're not pushing it apart too much. It should be a pretty neutral fit for this guy. So yeah, we'll get under the car and mark out about 18 inches. All right, so we come underneath the car here. Ground's so cold. And yesterday I had tried to look at measuring. It was about 23 inches, and that was going to be right at both of these bends, which was the most inconvenient thing ever. Now we've got 18 inches to measure, so about here to there-ish. We got this guy welded onto the glass pack, and I went ahead and did kind of my quote-unquote prettier style of welding, which is just kind of stacking on off on off on off on off on off all the way around. So it kind of has like that layered bead look, and it actually doesn't spatter nearly as much as if I tried to just go ahead and just go around the thing. It's not the cleanest, but got the job done. So I'm gonna cut the other side off first, and then we're gonna go ahead and worry about getting these back on the car. But for now, we're just gonna get these things pulled off, welded, and then we'll go ahead and worry about putting them back on the car. That's gonna be the hard part. We are done welding these pieces at least. I still have to cut the rear of the exhaust. So we got to cut and get the cans off the existing exhaust and then make a hanger for that, each one of these. And then I do have to put in the 12-inch glass packs as well. I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'd rather have the car ultra quiet than ultra loud. So we will have this, and then the 12-inch, and then this vibrant ultra quiet resonator, and that should be all we need to clean up the tone on the Audi. Hopefully 3 cylinders will have 3 resonators in line, and then the X pipe that the AWE exhaust came with. So I'd like to think that is enough to quiet it down, to get all of those high-pitched, ear-piercing noise out of the tone of the exhaust, and we should be good. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Hopefully we'll be able to put all these pieces on and give it a test start and hear what it sounds like. But since I do have to fab how these things sit coming out of the bumper and all of that, it might take a little bit, so we get it right and not looking super funny, because these tips are actually even. The other tips are like a staggered, so I'm going to try and make it so these don't stick out too much to where it looks weird, having this one stick out a bunch, all JDM, all weird, but not, I don't know, we just got to get it the right fitment with the bumper and the rear lip, so we'll see.